Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Whether you're a child watching this video or you're an adult who acts like a child and you're still watching this video, home security is important. And I've got a few tips here passed along to me by Joe Spears, a member of the community at live.pirillo.com. You can find him in the chat room there. And these tips really should serve as a reminder because hopefully you're already abiding by some, if not all of them. I can tell you that I am pretty much in line with them. I'm only going to read the first part of the tips that he mentions. The full-on list will be posted in the corresponding blog entry for this particular video on my blog at chris.pirillo.com. He says the first and most important tip is to purchase homeowners insurance. That is absolutely true. And let's say you are renting. Well, they have such a thing called renter's insurance, and we've had that in the past. The important thing to remember with insurance is to document. Take pictures of all your furniture. Take pictures of all your valuables and collectibles, and write down, what you believe those items happen to be worth. It's very, very, very important that you do that. And of course, keep meticulous records, as meticulous as you possibly can. We've mentioned a variety of inventory software for either Windows or Mac or web-based in the past through the videos that we've done. Tip number 2 is to store the most expensive and most valuable items, including jewelry, money, etc., in a safety deposit box in the bank. Very true. And if you are going to store it at home, make sure you get a waterproof safe, or if you don't want to store it in a safe, possibly pick an unassuming item. They will make like fake books where you can stuff things into. If you were to get burglarized, then they might go for a safe or some drawers, some common places that if you put in your valuables in an uncommon place, they'd be less likely to find it. Tips number 3 and 4 are to install an alarm system and sign up for an alarm monitoring service. This is something that we've done, and it's come in quite handy. It more than anything is peace of mind. We've got a wireless home monitor, and that means that we don't have to pay for a landline. We're just using wireless signals. It works fine. Every once in a while, the signal will drop. Our service will call us and say, "Hey, is everything okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. Keep calling." You never know when the false alarm will not be a false alarm. Tip number 5 is to include motion sensors or motion detectors as a part of your alarm system. It's very true. And we also have those. We were lucky to move into a house that had them pre-installed. Still could mean peace of mind for you. Tip number 6 deals with the situation when you are installing video cameras as a part of your security system. And he mentions that you want to purchase the cameras that provide infrared functionality. You will also, if you're doing any kind of recording with the videos, you will also want to make sure that the video has a time code in it. Otherwise, it cannot be admitted into evidence. I don't know if you knew that, but if you're taking video, if you do not have a timestamp to establish the time, it won't be admitted. At least that was told to me the last time the security guy came out here to talk about our security options and whatnot. Very important thing that I wanted to throw in there as a little side tip. Tip number 7 deals with the power down situations. So do you have any kind of battery backup, any kind of generator? Tip number 8 is to go wireless, and he doesn't mean wireless internet, he means wireless cameras, and he outlines here if you've had wired cameras, you should probably upgrade to wireless. That don't, you don't need a wire connecting them to a VCR, etc. Wireless cameras are easier to install, manage, and hide. The chances are it'll be harder to notice a wireless camera than a wired one. Tip number 9 is to make sure that you lock your doors and windows every time you leave the house. Absolutely. Absolutely. Double check, triple check. It's gotten to the point where, both Ponzi and I will lock the doors and we're inside the house because you really never know. There have been incidents where, something will happen in the middle of the day when someone is at home. You never know when it's going to happen. Tip number 10 is to join a neighborhood watch program, if there is one. Oh, that is so absolutely true. We have a neighborhood watch where we live, or, certainly parts of it. The only time that I've networked out to my neighbors in any kind of electronic capacity is when there was a lost dog that Ponzi took in and I had to email my neighbors frantically to try to find a match, and they were all very grateful. Like, thank you for being such, a good neighbor, and alerting us, even though it's not our dog. It's nice to know that you have neighbors that watch out for you. So, very good list of tips. I mean, these are, I hate to say basic, but they are, and these most basic tips are the ones we often overlook. Now, you may not be in a position to have everything, but you could have quite a few. The wireless camera, even if you had a wired camera, take a webcam that you're not using, point it out the door or whatever, and set it up to a computer. I mean, there's software and hardware that can give you a home security system. Maybe not as fancy schmancy as the official home security systems, but certainly you can pull it off, especially if you're a geek. If you're not, well, hopefully you know someone who can help. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. And yes, I am a geek. If you want to join the rest of us in the chat room, we're typically talking tech. Every once in a while, we branch out and talk about other things that we certainly have to deal with on a regular basis. I mean, we love technology, hardware, software, etc., but we do have to worry about security. And I don't mean like the firewall, spyware, virus, computer security. I'm talking about life security. So I appreciated these tips, Joe. So anyway, if you want to stop by and say hello, the chat room is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.